welcome back to the Everyday Ceremony. So, I'm your host, Tim, and today I want to share a little practice with you that is about somatic self regulation that we can basically use to come more and more into the embodiment of emotional maturity. Why self regulation is so important, and what it really does with our body and with our mind and with our nervous system, with our capacity to heal, and with our capacity to interact with other people as well. So basically, as children, we grow up co-regulated by the states of our parents. Like the moment we are actually conceived, there is already a genetic makeup within ourselves, meaning that is already regulating our system, or the genes is our ancestral memory. And then it goes on and on and on. During gestation period, we're in the womb of our mother, and there we get regulated by the state of our mom and everyone who is interacting with your mom and everything that your mom gets exposed to. And then we come into this world and we get co-regulated by our parents, by the states of our parents. So we're constantly in a codependent relationship with the nature, with the environment around us. And right now we live in a world where there's mostly stress around. There's mostly some kind of pressure, some kind of constriction, some kind of fear around. Like we live in a collective field of fear. And so a lot of our nervous systems are regulated to that fear, into that survival mode, into that kind of stress and pressure mode. And so we are in a certain way always in tune with the world around us. Yes, a part of gaining emotional maturity is learning to self-regulate, meaning not always being codependent with the environment around, meaning everyone around you is freaking out. You don't need to freak out if you can self-regulate yourself. And so basically it is about being able to tune in and take responsibility for whatever is going on within your body, within your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and being able to not project that out into the world, and also not take everything from the outside world personally and allowing the outside to determine which state you're in. So it is really about taking responsibility and being able to not avoid or project out our internal state onto the world around. Oftentimes we try to avoid what we're feeling, or if we know what we're feeling, we're projecting it out onto the world and say like, oh, this is because of that person and this is because of that institution or whatsoever. And we shoot our arrows around and like we blame people and things for how we feel. Or we just avoid it altogether and we numb ourselves, distract ourselves, and just completely avoid what is going on. And self-regulation is really about the ability to be able to hold all of that within yourself without needing to avoid it, or without needing to project it out into the world. And so at the end of the day, all systems within our body are really connected to one another. So when we start regulating our nervous system, central nervous system, that has the autonomic nervous system in there, that then takes care of the endocrine system, which is connected to all the hormones, all the glands within our body. And that regulates the digestive system and the circulatory system and all the organs and glands connected to that. So basically, when we start regulating our body through our nervous system, meaning breathing patterns and so on, we can really regulate everything within our body. So the brain, thoughts, our thinking mechanism is also, or like thought processing mechanism, is also connected to the circulatory system, is connected to our blood, is connected to the lymphatic system, is connected to the endocrine system, has to do with hormones, has to do with hydration, has to do with how fluid and how smooth our blood is flowing through our system. So our thoughts are also part of that. Our emotions are regulated by hormones, by the endocrine system, by glands. So that also connects to the nervous system. So we can really, by self-regulating ourselves through breathing and through this little practice that I'm going to take you through, we can really basically regulate almost everything within our body and come into a space where healing is possible within our body. Emotional, physical, mental healing is possible. And this state is acceptance. This state is trust. This state is connectivity with nature. This place is peace. And so this is a different approach than we usually take in our modern society, where everything is top down. Usually we try to control everything from our heads downward, from our mind, like this beautiful neocortex that developed at a certain point in our developmental evolutionary journey. And it has done beautiful things for us, but it's also just fucking up a lot of things, because the neocortex just mostly operates out of fear, out of that survival instinct, and out of stress. And that's what the rest of our body is experiencing. And now we want to take a different approach, where we kind of regulate ourselves from the bottom up, so we can actually determine our thinking and our feeling and the sensations and health of our organs within our body through our body, through our breathing, through the nervous system, through tapping in and actually realizing what is going on in there, and not only believing the narrative of our mind. And so that's what we're going to do. And so it's pretty powerful shit. And it is really about, there's like a couple of, in this practice, we're going to basically focus on physical sensations. We're going to focus on emotional experience. We're going to focus on mental narrative and the deepest desire that is actually hidden within all three of those layers. And so I would like to ask you to take a comfortable position wherever you're sitting right now. If you're driving right now, please pause this episode and continue it later on when you're in a place where you can safely close your eyes, kick back and relax. And so if you're in that space, I would like to invite you to just close your eyes, sit with a straight spine, roll back your shoulders if needed, shake yourself out a little bit. Just get into a comfortable position where you can sit for the next couple of minutes. And then we start with a breath, with a couple of breaths. Actually, we start with 3 breaths. 3 deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, filling up the belly and chest, and then exhaling, releasing through your mouth. Inhaling through your nose, into your belly, filling up your chest. And exhaling, releasing through your mouth. And one last deep breath, inhaling through your nose. Belly, chest, and exhaling, fully relaxing your body. Now you can just keep on breathing deeply, slowly, but you don't need to bring too much focus on that. And I want you to bring your awareness, your attention into your body. Just do a little body scan, check in with yourself. What is going on? What kind of physical sensations are there? Any tension, pressure, constriction? Maybe there's an openness, maybe there's some freedom. Just focus in those different areas. You can go from the head downward, just checking if there's something going on within your head, in your neck, going down, your chest, your back, your belly, hips, lower back, legs. Just do a little body scan. And then pick one sensation that stands out for you right now. Just intuitively choose one sensation within your body. Beautiful. And once you found that sensation, I'd like you to see what kind of emotional experience you have based on that. So based on that physical sensation, what kind of energy is in motion within your body? That sadness or anger? Or are you joyous? Do you feel joyful, happy? So what is going on emotionally? What kind of energies do you feel traveling through your body? Beautiful. You can speak that out loud to yourself right now. You can also just communicate that with yourself internally. And then we want to go to another layer, to the mental plane. And so we always tell ourselves stories about the world around and within. So what kind of narrative do you have now? What kind of story are you telling yourself about that emotional state based on this physical sensation that you just determined? What are you thinking about that? What is a narrative? What kind of mental state are you in? And again, it can be very positive, it can be very negative. It doesn't really matter. It's really just about creating awareness around that. It's not about changing it, not about judging yourself for it. It's just about getting an idea of what is actually going on right now for you and why you might be feeling how you're feeling as an overall experience. Beautiful. And so now that you determine the physical sensation within your body, what is going on there, the emotional experience you're having based on that physical sensation, and the narrative of your mind, I'd like you to tap into your deepest desire right now. Like, what do you desire most right now? And it could be, again, anything. There's no judgment of good or bad or small or grand things, desires that you can have right now. Just like, what comes up for you first? What is your deepest desire? What desire wants to be expressed right now? And hold that in your mind for a moment. If you want, maybe visualize how that could play out, that deepest desire, once it is expressed, how you want to express that, with whom you want to express that. Could be alone, could be with other people. Just visualize that for a moment. You can combine that with a deep inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And that is basically it. Now it's up to you what you do with that, what you do with that deepest desire that you just explored within yourself. You go out there and you express it, or you don't. Really no good or bad, right or wrong within that. It's just a beautiful practice to establish some awareness of what is going on within your system and how you actually want to interact with the world, like what kind of action can flow out of your current state. And so I just want to thank you for showing up here today for yourself, doing this little practice together with me, allowing yourself to explore this little somatic way of self-regulating. And feel free to practice it once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, whenever you need it. Oftentimes we need it more often than just 1 or 2 times a day. It's a crazy world we live in. There's so much shit happening. But yeah, so it's a beautiful practice to take into your day-to-day life. I think it's very easy, very quick, very simple, very actionable. And yeah, so I hope it serves you in some way. And other than that, I just wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you were able to get something out of that. If so, we would highly appreciate a 5-star rating and review here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to that. Really helps us grow and spread the show, spread the message with more people. And also, if you want to share that with someone, feel free to share it on your social media with your grandma, your parents, your siblings, your friends, your teacher, your children, if you want. And yeah, keep sharing it with yourself. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Much love, and looking forward to welcome you back on here soon on the Everyday Ceremony.